Do you want me to do it? Or just,
Yes.
do we have a volunteer?
That's fine.
You're the senior member.
Yeah. Actually, technically, I
Actually,
think
she's
Alan
not.
is the senior member. He was here when I started, but he hasn't been chair or vice chair since I've been here, so. Okay, so I would entertain a motion to have me run the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that I'll run the meeting in lieu of our absent chair and vice chair. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Excellent. Okay, I guess I'm running the meeting. And I guess we will then need to, do we need to amend the agenda?
Yeah, you can call them.
Yeah, I think so. So I would entertain a motion to retroactively amend the agenda to add electing a pro tem chair for purposes of running this meeting.
So moved.
And a
Seconded.
second. Brilliant. And any discussion? Fabulous. Then hearing none, all those in favor of amending the agenda to reflect the election of a pro tem chair, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, we have amended the agenda accordingly. That will go up at the very, very beginning. Speaking of the agenda, let me go back up to the top end of mine to see what is first up, because I actually had it down further in there. All right. Minutes.
Hey,
Yes,
Commissioner Getz, real quick.
please.
So I do have an addition to the agenda. So if you
Oh,
want,
another one. Okay.
yeah, so if you want to just call the meeting to order and name the time, or did we already do that? Sorry,
I think we sort of already did that,
we did that.
but
Okay.
just in case, the meeting is officially convened. We started recording at 6 p.m. on the notes.
Nice. And then I just need to add an 8F disaster recovery framework.
Okay.
Jen, you're breaking up just a bit.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
no.
is a little hard to hear you. At least I think it is.
Okay. Let's see.
Turn my volume up. Maybe that will help.
Is this clear?
That's better. Yes,
Okay.
at least for me it is.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll just make sure I speak up. So that was 8F disaster recovery framework request.
Okay. Any objections? Then we have an 8F, I think. Any others? All right, and I would entertain a motion to adopt the agenda as further amended.
So moved.
Seconded.
Brilliant. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Brilliant. We have an amended agenda. And the first item now to address on that agenda is the minutes of the previous meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to the March 16th, 2022 meeting minutes? My only comment, and this is I'm not 100% sure, but I will point it out. There is a note in new business under item D about the food truck plaza that Commissioner Getz suggested adding signage. I don't actually remember doing that, so I'm not actually 100% sure it was me. But if somebody remembers one way or the other, I will defer to that. Otherwise,
I don't know.
will
That
definitely-
kind of sounds like something Chair Ebel would say.
See,
I
yeah,
think it was him, but
okay,
We can always go back and look at the recording, so.
no worries. That was my only comment about the minutes.
So if you'd like, we could strike that sentence and you guys could approve as amended.
I think that's a brilliant idea. Any other changes, additions, corrections? Then I would entertain a motion to adopt the minutes as amended, as suggested by Jen, deleting that one sentence and making no other changes.
So moved.
Seconded.
It's been moved and seconded to amend, to approve the minutes as amended. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The minutes are adopted. Thank you very much. Moving on to item 4, which is announcements. Any announcements?
I have an announcement. I include
Excellent.
in your packet some information about CLG training that is available on Zoom for free. The link to training is in there, and I believe they're going to have more. So just letting you know of that opportunity that's available to you.
Great. Thank you
I have
very
one.
much. Oh, yes. And other announcements. Jen.
Okay, I just wanted to let all commissioners know that we still have the vacant commissioner position available. If you know of anybody, your colleagues, or anybody that might be interested, we just sent another press release about that. And yes, it's still open, so looking to fill that position as soon as we can. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Anyone else? Great. Then moving on to item 5.
Can I ask
yes,
Aaron just a
please.
quickie question for clarification?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Is this a similar CLG 101 training to one that's been held like last year? I was trying to remember if I attended that or not.
They usually change them up every year.
Okay.
It says it's first in a series of basic trainings to provide foundation. So it starts with benefits and responsibilities of being a CLG, ordinances and bylaws and stuff, but there will be more on other topics.
Okay. I'll look back at it and see if I can find anything.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yep.
Anything else? Wonderful. Moving on. Item 5, correspondence. Aaron. Yes.
Got nothing. No.
Okay. Then moving on, item number 6, calendar of events.
Yes. So I hope that you will join us for our May history talk, which will be the last one in the season. We will resume again in the fall. This session will be on the eruption of Mount St. Helens in 1980 by Steve Olson, who won the Washington State Book Award for his account of the event. I'm really looking forward to it. I was a little kiddo then. Pretty sure Kim remembers it too, because I know you were in Oregon, right?
Absolutely. We were in Newport that day.
Oh, geez.
They heard it.
Yeah, we were heading to our
Apparently the
vacation.
ocean. Yeah, apparently the ocean carried the sound quite well all the way to Newport.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, we were taking a vacation in Oregon, and I just remember lots of ash everywhere.
That was the day I learned the word rubbernecker. So just as an aside from all of the traffic, yes. It was a little crazy. That sounds like a really fun presentation. So I hope everyone will tune in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on, item 7, old business, new museum project.
All right, I'll take that one. I just have a quick report, and what that is showing some photos. I need the top bar to move so I can. How do I hide this? so I can get to the document behind it. Hold on, sorry. The bar is blocking my toolbar. Let me do something different here. Okay, so I open it again. There we go. So here is a photo of the site with the old warehouse not there. It's a lot different. And then just some of the work in clearing. So it turns out there were 3 parking lots under the original parking lot. So many layers you can kind of see here. This is the 3rd one that they've found. And not including abandoned building foundations and footings, but the footings already removed. So here's a closer up of that 3rd parking lot. A good picture of all of the concrete that's getting yanked out of there. It's just a ton of concrete. And they also found a manhole.
Many tons.
Yes, not a literal ton. They found a manhole that wasn't connected to anything. So I just thought it'd be kind of interesting for you guys to see some of the photos of the site. But ultimately, this is the best view of what it looks like. I'm sure all of you have driven by. It looks a lot different.
It looks a lot better. Jen,
Yeah.
if we didn't know those were there, is that going to impact our disposal costs?
So
I assume?
that's a great question. So the good news is that the bid came in so low that we're still in budget.
Yes. Love it.
So
Good to hear.
knocking on wood, because we're not done yet, but it's looking really good at this point. So
Outstanding.
and then just to show you, and I'm so sorry about this fill here. It's really hard to see, but this is the updated site, the interim site. So these little sails are going to go in over. So here's the depot, just to give you your bearings here. These sails are going to be over some, it's covered outdoor seating. So there's one there, and then there's going to be another one over here. This is where the stage is. There is power near the stage. But something that has changed since we last spoke is that due to some concerns over vandalism and this thing staying out all year, we're actually going to just do a rental stage when needed. Because a lot of the time we can use this platform depending on the type of entertainment. And early on we did talk about this platform of the depot being used like a stage. So I think that's a great opportunity. And then if we do need to rent the stage, we did a cost analysis of buying it versus renting, and just have decided to go the rental option. And then over here, so this is going to be the kiosk that talks about the project. We're calling it a storyboard. And we have been working diligently on that. We've almost got the wording completed for that. It will be covered so that people, even if the weather is adverse, they can walk up and read about the project. This is the food truck area, which is really, really hard to see, but there's, I want to say 4 different pads for food trucks here and 4 here. So I think in the earlier one, it was just all in a row, but now there's going to be kind of like a walk through, and the food trucks will be on either side. So that's what they've come up with, the community and economic development. And there's power for them and a better setup. They're hoping to attract more of the longer term food trucks with a better setup. And then these are the parking stalls. Really hard to see, but we do have a gate that we can lock that'll be going in as well. So we're kind of excited to be able to control that. There won't be access here. This will actually be blocked off to Lacy Boulevard. We don't want people driving in there unless we want them to drive in there. So yeah.
Excellent.
That's all I had on that.
Great. Any questions, anyone? Wonderful. Any other updates to the project?
I don't have any other updates at this time.
Outstanding. All right. Then moving on to item 8, new business. Item 8A, recent acquisitions and turnings away, if I read it correctly.
And what?
Declinations. I don't know.
Oh,
No thank yous.
Oh, gotcha. I'm with you now. Okay, so new acquisitions include a donation from Bruce Hanchett. His partner recently passed away, and he was connected to the Lee and the Yates families of the Lacy area. In particular, the Yates family had a chicken farm in Lacy in the early 20th century, and we already have some items in our collection related to them. And I have tried to do research on them before and been kind of stumped. So this was a great addition to our collection. So I'm pretty excited about that. Still working on kind of catching up some past donations that got missed along the way. So we received in 2020 a plaque with a gavel that was given to Carl Anderson for his dedicated service to the city of Lacy. He was on our very first Lacy City Council, so I thought that was an appropriate addition to the collection. And then there were 3 books that are appropriate for our reference book collection. To remind those of you who may not know the difference, there's just a standard of care difference. So books that are put into the permanent collection are preserved to be retained in perpetuity as long as possible. And the reference library, we can make items come and go as they are relevant to what we need. So these are some of those history books added to the reference library. And then we were offered a spinning wheel, which I politely declined because it did not have any local provenance. They had got it at a thrift shop. Any questions?
Seeing no questions, I would entertain a motion to approve the, see, my brain is just not working today.
It says it right there at the top.
Yeah, that, no, it doesn't.
So you want
Not
us to
the word
move,
I want.
you want us to move
Acquisition.
to approve the acquisition decisions made?
That is perfect. Yes, please.
I will so move.
Second.
Fabulous. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor of accepting these items, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We have acquired these wonderful items. Moving on to item 8B, Lacey Historical Commission term change proposal.
Sorry.
That's okay. Do you want me to pull it up on my screen?
Do you want to share? Sure. Do you have it?
If I can, yeah, if you want me to.
Terms, thank you. It's a little clunky for me not having 2 screens, but doing it virtually, so appreciate it. Okay, we have an interesting dilemma. We've talked to many of you about this, just to try to sort through what to do. So a little bit of background, you probably already read it, but I do want to make sure everybody's on the same page. So the Historical Commission was formed back in 1979. At the time, there were 9 commissioners. Terms were staggered to ensure consistency. In other words, every every year 3 commissioner terms would expire. So that first year, 3 people had a 1-year term, 3 people had a 2-year term, and 3 people had a 3-year term. Thereafter, terms were for 3 years. So over the years, a number of events occurred that created a situation that we're in right now, which is there are 5 commissioner terms that will expire in 2022. 2 will expire in 2023, and none expired in 2021. So this is a dilemma and we're trying to correct it. And I just want to, before I go further, thank Erin for her research on this and helping us determine why we're in this situation. So really appreciate you putting this together. Yeah, so we are looking for, we're making a recommendation to you all. And if you are agreeable, then we would make the recommendation to the Lacey City Council, who oversees obviously the Historical Commission, and have it actually changed in their records as well. And so the recommendation is what you see before you here. This chart shows all the commissioners. It shows when your terms are currently set to expire. So you can see right there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in 2022 there, just like I stated. And then we've proposed a term expiration. And then just for your knowledge, it just shows on the last column, the length that you've been on the commission.
Mhm.
So, so as you can see, Eric Ebel, his, there's no term change proposed. If you look at Alan's, there is no term change proposed. If you look at Commissioner Getz, you can see that we're proposing, instead of her position expiring, oh, thank you. Yeah, I guess my cursor isn't really showing. Instead of hers in this September, it would be September of 2023. And then Commissioner Black, same thing. It would be in 2023. I will note on Commissioner Black's, he is set to actually step down when his normal expiration date would be, which is this September. But he's agreeable to this as long as we note, well, I want to note in his letter that he did serve 2 full terms. So that would have been his regular term expiration date. So we would just need to fill that position, and then, you know, of course, it would expire not too long after that, but then, you know, that person could continue on in their first full term after serving an unexpired term. And then for Commissioner Keogh, it would remain the same when it was supposed to be. Commissioner 30-acre would move then from 22 to 24 expiration date. And then our vacant position, which was, as you know, Commissioner Huff leaving, that one we would move, instead of 2023, it would actually expire in 2024. So this is, you know, we've given this a lot of thought. We've had a lot of different conversations, and we're hopeful that the commission will approve this recommendation.
Thanks. Does anyone have any questions for staff or discussion that they want to bring up?
It's an interesting dilemma, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It is indeed. Okay. Just for my own information, if someone wants to share, if not, that's totally fine too. I know Commissioner Ebel is going to step down at the end of his term. Anybody else planning on it other than what we've heard tonight? So we're all the same folks anyway. Okay, cool. So we have this proposal in front of us. Is there a motion to agree or adopt this proposal?
So moved.
Second?
Seconded.
Excellent. It's been moved and seconded, so whatever, to adopt this proposal. Any discussion? Yes.
That's a great discussion.
Okay, then. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jen and Aaron. Will you take care of getting that in front of the city council, please?
Yep.
I assume.
Will do.
Fabulous. All right. That takes us to item 8C, Lacey Historian of the Year. Aaron, would you like to take that, or Jen?
Yes.
Or
I
okay.
will take that just 1 second here.
Fabulous. You want to bring it up?
Well, there isn't an
Or do we
it to
share?
bring up. So
Okay.
there are things to bring up. So let me just start introductorily and say that I hope that you reviewed the applications that were in your packet. We received 3 nominations for 2 parties for the 2022 Historian of the Year Award. I can bring them up one at a time and we can talk about them. You can tell us what you think or want without pulling them up. It's however you guys want to do that. Please let me know what you would like to do.
I'm not sure there's a lot there to bring up, so I would suggest, Erin, you giving us the rundown on where we are on each of them, each of the 2 nominations or 3 nominations for 2 people person / entity.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
tell us what you think.
So I'll start with the first one, which was from staff, and that was for former Commissioner Seth Huff, who recently left the commission. I think a lot of what I would have said about him for this award, we said when we were saying goodbye to him. He was just so invaluable to the museum in so many different ways, and to history and Lacy, and working on the formation of the new museum and helping us during the Sasquatch exhibit, and just really took on educating the community about Lacy history and promoting the museum so seriously, and was such a valuable member of the group. And so that's why we brought forward his name as a potential nominee. All right, and then the other 2 nominations were for the Jolt News. If you are not familiar with the Jolt News, it is, or the Journal of Olympia, Lacy and Tumwater, which is what that stands for. It is an online publication, journalist publication. Both of the applications that we got, just a side note, were from former Lacy mayors. And they said very much the same thing in their nomination forms. They feel that the Jolt News has made significant contributions to preserving the history of Lacy by writing and reporting on current events. They gave the statistic of 233 stories on Lacy between March 1st and March 30th of March 1st, 2020 and March 30th of 2022. So, and they point out that it's a nonprofit organization and is a treasure for the history of the city of Lacy. And so they're asking that we consider the founder, Danny Stusser, and the Jolt Board of Directors as Lacy Historians of the Year. I, being a human, of course, do have an opinion, but it is my job to facilitate this discussion. So I think,
Are there written criteria for?
yes, that's exactly what I was going to next. So the criteria is, and actually I will pull that up. I'll pull the criteria up. So the criteria is based on an individual or group's significant contribution to the promotion or preservation of Lacy's history. Criteria may include, but is not limited to, hours/time, duration, significance, donation of tangible property, or monetary contribution. No individual can be selected more than once, and it is preferred to select only one Historian of the Year per year or a group.
Well, I'm not, these criteria are pretty loose.
Mhm.
I'm not particularly familiar with the Jolt, but I am somewhat familiar with Mr. Huff's contributions, which I think are considerable. And I would be in favor of, out of the nominees that we have before us, of selecting Mr. Huff.
Any other comments?
I'm up until the nominations, I wasn't particularly familiar with the Joel. Went to the website, did a little bit of looking, and had in comparison to the nomination for Seth, I kind of felt like this one, the Jolt one, could use a little aging, if you want to put it that way. Not that there might not be a contributory piece to that, going as we go down the road, but I wasn't sure we quite attained the point of managing or promoting history.
Jim's just trying to make his comments very significant with an echo.
So anyway, that was my take on it.
Excellent. Alan, did you have something you wanted to say as well? I saw you had unmuted there for a bit, but no worries if not.
Aaron, do you want to stop share
Sure.
so we can see everybody? Oh, thanks.
Looks like he's on a phone or something. Kim, you're muted.
Yep. And well then, I will say my thoughts were very similar to Jim's, that of course we all have seen Seth's direct contribution and hitting all of those criteria. I think Jolt may be an excellent nominee, but maybe a couple of more years of contributions might be warranted before making an award. Alan, did you have anything you wanted to contribute? No worries if not. I'm going to take that as a no. Okay. Well, I think we heard three very similar thoughts, so I would entertain a motion of whatever you would like to move.
Can you hear me now?
We can take that back. Commissioner Tyler, would you like to
I
say-
just came online. I'm having technology problems.
I love it.
please go ahead. You have the floor should you wish it.
Oh, I apologize. I'm not up on the topic.
We are addressing the the Historian of the Year nomination. And if you have any feelings you would like to share, and no requirement to do so.
I had somebody I mentioned a couple of years ago, but the name is escaping me right now.
Okay. Well, we have two nominees for this year. Former Commissioner Huff and the Jolt News outlet.
And remember the lady that helped with the log cabin?
Yeah, Shirley Binkley.
Shirley? I would like to nominate her.
Well, it's too late. The nomination process closed at the end of March. So we're just reviewing the applications that we've received.
Okay.
And hasn't Shirley already received the award?
No, Shirley J. did
really?
receive the award, but Shirley.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought Shirley Binkley had. Okay.
No, I moved that the commission select Sean Huff as the historian of the year.
Seth Huff. Let's amend that.
Yes, Seth Huff. Okay,
Seth Huff,
Former
yeah,
Commissioner Seth.
whatever.
Huff.
Yeah,
Do I
sorry.
have a second?
I will second that.
All right, it has been moved and seconded that we award Historian of the Year to former Commissioner Seth Huff. Is there any additional discussion? All those in favor? Please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations, former Commissioner Huff. All right.
So, and then,
Yes,
actually, that award will be presented at the May 5th City Council meeting.
excellent. Thank
So
you.
Aaron will be presenting that award.
Well, Eric will be presenting that award.
Eric will be
If
presenting.
he wants to be there. Yes.
He wouldn't want to. Okay, we better let him know.
Yes. All right, moving on to item 8D, Jackson/Goose Pond Interpretive Panel.
Okay, so the text for the interpretive panel is almost ready for your review, and we're really looking forward to getting your input. So this is our plan. We're going to email you the text for the panel and ask for your edits by email, and we'll give you a deadline. And just remember that when you send those back, that you just send those back to staff directly without copying everyone, so that we don't accidentally break any public meetings laws or what have you. Fulton has done an incredible job on his research, and I think it's going to be a really fantastic marker. So the text will also get some input from the Jackson family as well, and we will definitely share with you when we get the final design when it's finished. And please put on your calendars, June 29th will be the dedication. And I'd like to add that it's really hard to talk while your daughter is trying to get your attention through the doorway.
Can I open this?
Sure.
Yay.
No concept of a public meeting to a child. Anyway, that is all I have on that. Does anyone have any questions?
Great.
You'll all be receiving, once the invitation is made, which Fulton is also working on, you all will receive that.
Yeah.
For the June 29th.
Excellent. All right, moving on. Item 8E, Lacy Depot Grand Opening Event. Is that a Jen or an Aaron item?
Actually, that's a Sarah
Sarah.
item.
Oh, well,
Actually,
yay,
that's a me
Thank
item.
Sarah.
No,
Wonderful. Please,
So
fill us in.
it's going very well. The Lacey Depot grand opening, we're planning it. We should be getting invitations out to everybody on Monday. We've got Lacy Rotary are going to be involved as well. So we're hoping to get some of our food truck guys out there. If our site tour goes pretty well on Monday, we should know a little bit more about that. But we should have some food trucks out there. There's going to be big ribbon cutting. We're going to have a short program where there's going to be some folks from Lacy Rotary and hopefully some of you wonderful fine commissioners who will be giving short speeches and talking a little bit about the depot and its history and its impact. And then we're going to use, I have the giant scissors. They're confirmed. They're in my desk and we'll be cutting the ribbon. But everything's going smoothly. So yeah, it's going great. You'll get invitations shortly.
Excellent. That is good to hear. Any questions on that before we move on?
Could you remind me what date we're shooting for on that?
We are shooting for May 25th.
May 26th?
May 25.
May
Yeah.
25.
May 25th, and that's going to be at 5:30 p.m.
Thank you.
Yep, and we'll send you the invitation. Like Sarah said, it's almost ready. We're just waiting to hear about the food truck affirmative before we send those out.
All right. Moving on, ad hoc committee reports.
Oh, so I have, sorry,
Yes,
I have the 8F.
8F. Oh, sorry, that's right. We added 8F and I didn't write it down. Jen, please.
Okay, so disaster recovery framework request. So we received a request from the Thurston Regional Planning Council. They are working on an interjurisdictional disaster recovery framework for the communities in Thurston County. And part of this effort includes drafting smaller recovery strategies for different sectors, one of which is cultural and historic resources. They are looking for one or more people who would be interested in participating in 1 to 2 Zoom focus group meetings late April to early June. These meetings would be used to bring together various cultural and historic resource stakeholders in the Thurston region to talk about how to guide and prioritize recovery efforts in this sector. So they're asking if we're willing to provide contact information for one or more of our commission members that might want to participate in this effort, or at least share a message from TRPC to the rest of the commission. So like they said, there's a couple meetings late April to early June. So we're just looking for a volunteer or a couple volunteers who might be interested in doing that. I can also email this out to everybody.
I think the museum director should be participating in this. I assume the museum has a disaster recovery plan.
So the museum, so staff doesn't have capacity actually at this time.
Oh,
So we're
okay.
hoping to find a volunteer from the commission that might be willing to represent.
I would normally play in that field. Unfortunately, I'm on jury duty for the next 3 weeks for certain. So that pretty much ties me up.
Thank you for doing your civic duty. I would suggest, if no one in the room is currently enthusiastic about serving on on an effort like that, that to me strikes me as something that Sarah might be very interested in. That seems like it's right up her alley and something she might be very interested in participating in. So
Well, are you saying that since she is not here, this is?
I am not
volunteer?
volunteering her. I am suggesting that we offer that to her and see if she is interested.
Well, it's interesting. She might already be on it with her role for the state.
It could be, but
So, yeah, good call. I'll check in with her.
Kim?
Yeah.
I was involved with that group when I was working for the Olympia School District, so I guess I could step in and cover her end.
excellent. Thank you. Appreciate it. You got that, Jen?
Yep. Thank you, Alan.
Excellent.
Okay, and I'll send you the info.
Okay.
For Tyler, and I'll send it to Sarah as well.
All right, that'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Fabulous. All right. Now moving on to item 9A, ad hoc committee reports. Item A is the Policy Steps Committee, which is on hiatus.
Before you say it, wait, don't say it.
Yes.
Sarah, did you want to say something about that?
Pardon, about which section? I apologize.
We are on item 9A.
The Policy Committee.
Do I have anything about the
Oh,
policy?
she's not remembering. It's
No.
very
I'm
sad.
not remembering.
So I'll say it then.
Yes, please.
So Sarah, hopefully it's in a list of her somewhere, is going to be taking over the revision of the CLG policy manual. so that we can start
Oh,
making
just
forward
froze.
progress. Oh, do I need to start again?
You need to start again because you froze just as you were about. Oh, hang on. My internet connection is unstable.
Oh, so it's
So-
you?
Yes, it's me because you all froze, not just you.
Okay.
But
So
we'll bugger on here. Yes.
Sarah is going to be taking over the revision of the policy manual for historic preservation so that we can get that done. Because clearly I can't find time for that. So I am very grateful to Sarah, who is willing to take that over for me. So hopefully it won't be on hiatus too much longer.
Excellent. Maybe we'll pick it up again next fall.
And
So-
Kim, remind me, are there any of the policy committee members still on the commission besides you?
No,
Okay,
I'm it.
that's what I thought. So when
Shirley's
we do,
the other one. It was Shirley and Seth.
yep.
So-
Joseph before that.
Right.
So yeah, so when we do reboot that, we'll need to recruit a couple more members.
Sounds like a plan to me. Excellent. Thank you. And item 9B, Archaeology Committee, which, oh wait, we do have a member here. Yes? Commissioner
Yeah, you-
Black, aren't
Yeah.
you? There
Yeah.
you go. Please tell us about the Archaeology Committee.
We had a meeting by Zoom last Monday, was it? And to review the final submittal from the archaeologist, the consulting archaeologist, and I was the only one who showed up, and it looked fine to me, and I assumed that it was reviewed and approved by Sarah and by Mr. Abel.
Excellent.
That's correct, yes. And just to add to that, the committee did review the document, and so now the Cardno is finalizing the report and updating it via DAP's wizard system. So just to tag on. But yes, I did hear back from Commissioner 30acre on it, and she was also in approval. So
Fabulous. Wonderful. Thank you. Moving on, item 10, public comment. 10A, Lacey Historical Society. Lanny, has your internet connection improved? It has. You're back. Please.
Hello.
You have anything you'd like to share?
Oh, actually, I have quite a bit to share. Shirley Jacobs, that you already had spoken about as being one of the historian of the year several years back. She was the president of the Lacey Historical Society for, I don't really know how many years. As long as I've been around here, she was the president. She died on April 9th. It was not unexpected. She was 93 years old. And the funeral is going to be April 28th at Sacred Heart Church, starting at 10 in the morning. There will be 3 speakers. I will be one of them. And then there'll be a mass afterwards, and I'm not sure what follows after that. At first, I thought it was by invitation because Michael, her son, who is arranging all of this, was asking for people's email addresses from me that I thought might want to come. But as it turns out, I have a feeling it's going to be packed when all the people who knew Shirley will be there. Erin, did you get an email from Michael Jacobs?
Yes, I did. And you said the 28th, but isn't it the 29th?
I have. Okay. Yeah, you're right. It is the 29th. Thank you.
Just want to make sure we got that right.
Right. So anyway, Shirley was a remarkable woman, and Michael was helping her to write her own obituary and to plan her own funeral. She had that taken care of. The other thing I'd like to say, Erin, did you have an opportunity to forward the newsletter to all the commission members?
Yes, we did that.
Okay, great. Thank you. Actually, Aaron, as long as I'm talking about you, I want to tell your commissioners that you had one incredible presentation on Gwyn Wood and Gwen Hicks. I was absolutely astonished at the amount of information that you found, and I thought I knew a lot about Gwen Hicks, but I learned a lot from you that day.
Oh my gosh, I think that could be the biggest compliment I have ever gotten. Thank you.
Well, it's true. I'm going, where did she find this stuff?
Oh, I have so many things I could show you.
I'd love it. I'd absolutely love it. You'll see that in the newsletter that we talk about our annual meeting, and in the era of COVID, nothing is for certain. So it's always tentative, and especially when our audience is going to be vulnerable, older people. But that is going to be on October 13th at the community center, and the commissioners are always invited. You're not going to get an invitation, but all of you are invited. And we hope to be able to have Aaron come and talk about the new museum, if that is at all possible. Everybody's interested. The theme is going to be South Sound Center, which is a huge topic in the history of Lacy. And Sugoff has found a speaker who was involved in the planning and the opening of South Sound Center. And we're also hoping to get as many memories from all the people who will be there. And they do enjoy doing that. You know, older people like to talk about the past. And certainly South Sound Center will give us a lot of information. They'll have a lot of information. And even I will be able to tell you about my first days at South Sound Center. Aaron, for your information, I talked with Jameson yesterday, and he has not heard a word from the fair.
Really?
So, yeah, so Thurston Throwback is still up in the air.
Wow.
Not a word. He has not heard a word. So who knows? It looks like it probably won't happen. And it's talking about things that won't happen. I'm going to go back. I think I told you, Aaron, that the Women's Club has decided that they want to maintain the building. So that is off the table. And I had this not so nice voicemail from the woman who is now the president, because I thought they were thinking about selling, and I was making suggestions to the former president who has resigned. And they didn't like what I said. And so the message was, we're going to keep the building. And it was almost as if she said, so there. So it's something that we don't have to worry about. But the members are all in their 80s and 90s. And so I think this will probably be coming up again as a topic. Let me see. See if there was anything else I wanted to tell you. I think that's just, oh, yes. But you remember Dick Yates. I know a lot of the commissioners don't remember Dick Yates, but certainly you would remember Dick Yates, Aaron. He was on the board of the Lacey Historical Society. And his father, Harold, was also a member of the Lacey Historical Society. And I think I have information that I can share with you. But
Okay.
I'll go check. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you.
Excellent.
I'll mention really fast, Laney. Thank you for talking about Shirley. And I wanted to let you know that not only did the email go to the Historical Commission, but also to the Lacy City Council members.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, well, I didn't even mention, I mean, I don't have the emails for all the city people, the council. But I did emphasize to Michael that he had to get in touch with Andy Ryder. Andy treated Shirley like she was his mother. He adored her, absolutely adored her. And she adored him. It was really cute to see them together. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's great. That's good to hear. We'll see what happens now at the funeral.
All
That's
right.
it. Okay.
Thank you. Thanks, Lenny. Moving on to item 10B, other public comment. Do we have any other attendees that would like to say something?
There is no one else to say.
We do not. No.
Excellent. Moving on to item 11, reports, starting with item 11A, report of the museum curator.
Yes, so the museum has been very busy lately, which has been a very lovely surprise. So last month we had 40 visitors, which is pretty typical for a March, a little on the high side. So far in April, we've already had 30 plus visitors with a really busy couple of weeks. At first, we just attributed it to spring break, but it's continued. So we'll have to see how it goes. So that's promising. We also had a very busy month in March with customer service requests. I spent over 20 hours on that this month. The biggest one was from a Hicks family descendant who wanted to compare research and get photos for her family. Side note, Lanny, I had almost exactly the same level of information as she did. So I felt pretty good about that.
Oh, yeah, Lyman gave the museum a lot of stuff, so there should be a lot of information there.
Yeah, Gwen, there actually are multiple donors who gave a lot of information.
Yeah.
Which is why that research request took so long, because she wanted to know every photo we had of the Hicks family and the Hartsook family. And there were like 3 other names. It was a long list. Anyway, so our March history talk, we had 37 people attend. I was a little disappointed in the numbers because it was a really interesting talk, but I'm sure we'll have more views on YouTube once it's posted. I was also a little disappointed in the attendance for my talk because it was the day after the website launch, and day of events disappeared from the calendar. So anyone who wanted to actually like show up and register the day of couldn't do that. So who knows how many people we actually lost.
Oh, Erin, just for your information, Gwyn Hicks, who was the grandson of Gwyn Hicks, said that his grandfather was cuckoo.
Yes, I've heard that there are many opinions on that within the family.
Yeah.
We also received official notice of the $5,000 award from the Thurston County Heritage Commission to continue our work on the Lacy Leader project. So that's exciting. I also wanted to share that Carson is working very hard on some programming for the summer, including a Sasquatch themed scavenger hunt, a virtual cemetery tour, and an Artifact of the Week program. So be on the lookout through social media, our newsletter, which is going to have a rebranding here pretty soon, and our new Star Spangled Fancy website for more information. That is all I have, unless anyone has any questions. Also, I would like to add one last thing. Speaking of the fancy website,
Yes.
it might be the bane of my existence right now, but it is really good looking and there's a lot of great information there. So please do check it out, and please do let me know if there are any issues, because we have a whole lot of list of bugs and things we're trying to work out. So I'd be grateful for anyone's feedback about what's good, what's bad, what's broken, what could be better. Love the feedback.
Excellent. And website? Erin?
Sorry, you cut out. I didn't know you were talking to me.
Oh, sorry. Web address?
LaceyMuseum.org.
Fabulous. All right.
And if for some reason your computer is not redirecting, try clearing your cache and do it again.
Brilliant. Thank you. Moving on to item 11B, commissioners. I'm going to go in order. Commissioner Black, any report?
Well, as of 3 weeks ago, I'm the proud owner of a new left knee. So it's not something I recommend that you do for fun, but it's moving along better than expected. So.
Well done. All right. Commissioner Keough.
Quiet here.
Fabulous. Commissioner Tyler.
Nothing to report today.
Excellent. And I'm not really the chair, so I'm going to go under commissioners. I also have nothing to report. 11C, chair's report. The chair is not here, so he does not get the opportunity to report. And item 11D, Parks and Rec Director. Jen.
Yeah, thanks. Well, actually, did you want to see if our youth commissioner had anything? Sorry, before we move on. You're on
You're
mute.
muted. You're muted.
You're muted.
See, there you go. This is what happens when I hit the button twice. You're tiny. I was wondering who it was that was in the room with you, and I was gonna ask, and then I forgot. So please.
Nothing to report.
But I like that he's the only commissioner here in person, so keep me company.
Brave soul.
Well then.
Good job.
I was wondering who it was. Okay, well, thank you.
He's young.
Jen,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm glad that Erin brought the website. I also was gonna do that. But before I do, I just have to give a huge shout out to Erin for her work on the website. Not only recently when we were launched quickly, but all the way along, she's been just a key integral part of our new website, and it is fabulous. It's going to be even better as soon as we make all, our updates and our changes. So I just really want to thank her. A shout out to Sarah as well with the website. She came into it late, but she's just really been a lifesaver over the past couple of weeks, and she's had to really drop everything and really focus on that. So thanks to those two staff. The website so Erin mentioned lacymuseum.org, but if you go to lacyparks.org, you can also see the Lacy Parks new website, and you can also click for museum and get there that way. There's also a new city website, which is cityoflacy.org. So yeah, just kind of easy for people to get there, and things are coming along. And like Erin said, just let us know if you notice anything. We're still making changes and updates.
And I don't know how we managed to do it, but we're on the city's landing page. The museum is. At the
Oh,
bottom.
nice.
It's really nice.
Even better. I'm glad that Lanny mentioned the Gwynwood talk and all the information that she got from Erin. I also wanted to give her accolades for all of her hard work on that particular project. It was super time consuming during a super busy time for us, and she just does an amazing job. Those of you that know Erin know that she does everything very professionally, and it's very high quality. So thank you, Erin, for all of your work on that too. Sarah and I attended the Washington Recreation and Park Association conference last week in person up in Bellevue. So that was kind of exciting to be back and just feel the energy of doing things again. So we were excited about that. I'm actually on the board as the vice president of the association. So it's the nonprofit that advocates and supports statewide for parks, recreation, and cultural services, and has really been there for me for training opportunities and advocacy and networking over the years. And so I decided it was time to give back to that organization. So I will be president in 2 more years. It's a 4-year cycle. And so that was something that was new. And then also the last thing I'll mention is just that we are hiring 2 recreation coordinators in our department. Those job postings should go out very soon. And so we're going to be filling 2 of our vacancies. So if you know of anybody in the youth sports area or youth and teen programming, please let them know to watch the city's website for those. And that's all I have.
excellent. All right, that takes us to the end of our agenda. Is there any additional discussion that we've missed? Otherwise, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Seconded.
Any discussion? All those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? There's nobody left. Thank you. We are adjourned. It is 7:05 p.m. Thank you very much, everyone.